Hi 12s, oh sorry my microphone's not down. Hi 12s, how's it going? Cover work today, I'm moving house, yeah, I said I was going to show you a picture of a tortoise, didn't I, or something, but trust me when I say in the background there's lots and lots and lots of boxes. I actually don't know how to share my screen, you know, use my webcam at the same time as sharing my screen. I know how to share my screen, I'm doing it right now, but so yeah, sorry, I can't do that, but rest assured I'm surrounded by boxes. I've even had to take the dartboard off the wall in anticipation of the move. The only thing which hasn't been tidied away is a computer, so I'll be doing that basically tonight or tomorrow morning, probably tomorrow morning because I use my computer all the time. Okay, anyway, that's enough waffle. So we were just, basically last lesson we were solving trig equations, and I want to solve more complicated trig equations this time. So ones like this and combinations of both. Let's take one of each firstly. Let's solve, I'm just making these up by the way, I don't know, sine 3 theta equals a third for 0 is less than or equal to theta is less than or equal to 360. Now everybody can find some solutions in these questions, but finding them all is actually rather difficult. I'm sure it won't come as too much of a surprise, I hope not anyway. Worth saying, 3 sine theta is not the same as sine 3 theta. Here we're trebling the angle first, then taking the sine of it. Here we're taking the sine of the angle first, then trebling it, and they're not the same thing. Yeah, there might be the same thing for 1 or 2 values of theta, but they're not always the same, and so we certainly shouldn't misunderstand that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to invert that, inverse sine. I think inverse sine is 19.5. Let's have a look. Inverse sine of 1 divided by 3. In radians, hang on. 1 second, degree. 19.5, good. Yeah, that one seems to pop up a lot, the third one. So we get 3 theta is 19.5. Now, remember, I gave you little rules of thumb, or just look to the left up in my room. There's rules of thumb poster, and it says for sin, you do 180 minus first answer, yeah? So this is the point. A lot of students now really are desperate to divide by 3 on this step. They're like, divide by 3, divide by 3. It's like, wait. As soon as you do inverse sine, inverse cos, or inverse tan, that's when you do a 180 minus, and that's going to give you 160.5, yeah? Now, don't forget as well that theta's trapped between 0 and 60, which means 3 theta would be trapped between 0 and 1080, yeah? So we've actually got 6 answers we're going to find here, and that's because if you change sine x into sine 3x, you squash it by a factor of 3, and now there's going to be like, you know, lots and lots of peaks and troughs basically. But essentially there's typically 2 answers from 0 to 360, and so if we're suddenly going from 0 to 1080, then there's going to be 6 answers. 3 times 2 is 6. So keep going. Now remember, you've got sine 180 minus, you've done your 180 minus first answer, but you can always add 360 to these, and that's going to give you 379.5. 360 plus 160 is 520.5. Now add 360 to these, so I'm just adding 360 again. So 360 plus 379.5, and I'll admit I'm cheating with my calculator here, that's poor. 739.5, and then lastly plus 360 onto the 520.5, and we get 880.5. Yeah, and then at the end, divide by 3. So I'm just going to divide all of these by 3, and that's going to give me 6.5 degrees there. It's going to give me 53.5 here. Notice that these are all as well, what is that, 40, what is that, 47 degrees. Have I actually done this right? Let me just check, because these should be 60 degrees apart. Oh yeah, no, it's the next ones. Yeah, it's not these 2. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting muddled up. So 379.5 divided by 3 gives you 126.5. You see, this is actually going to be a gap of 120, because normally it's a gap of 360, so that's a gap of 120. Same for this one. If I just add 120 to that, I'm going to get 173.5. And then if I just add 120 to this, I'm going to get 246.5. But just think of this as dividing that by 3. And the next one, 880.5 divided by 3, you're going to get 293.5. Now, there's a lot going on there, a lot going on. So let's say you're suspicious that your last answer is probably wrong. How can we check it? plug it into a calculator and see if it equals a third. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do sine of 3 times, I'll write down what I'm doing, sine of 3 times 293.5. It should equal a third, or very, very close. The moment of truth. Okay, I get 0.333 and then an 8, yeah? But it's so close to a third. The reason why it isn't exactly a third is because we rounded it earlier. So there we go, we get 6 answers there, and that's because we're going from 0 to 360 for 3 theta, which squashes the curve. Or if you like, if theta is trapped between 0 and 360, then 3 theta will be trapped between 0 and 1080. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try one like number 2. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's try let's do sine of x plus 50 equals 0.6 for 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 360. So I'm just making these up. If I was going to solve this one, I would do inverse sine of 3/5, which I think is 36.9, but let's check. 36.9. And now remember, just like I did last time, I know you're really tempted to subtract 50 now, but don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Do the 180 minus trick first, and oh, I should have done something other than sine, because sine's always 180 minus. I should have probably done cos here, but I'll do that in the next one. So I do 180 minus that, and I'm going to get 143.1. And then I'm going to add 360 to that, I'm going to get 396.9. I'm going to add 360 to that, I'm going to get 503.1, yeah? But I've probably gone too far here, because now I'm going to take 50 off. Now when I take 50 away from that, it's not in the range anymore. And that's because I needed answers actually from 50 up to 410, because x plus 50 is trapped between 50 and 410, which is why that one's not going to work, and this one's not going to work. I need to take away 50 from these two, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get 93.1, and then I take away 50 from that, I get 346.9. Now, if I actually plug these in, I'm going to plug this last one in now, I'm going to add 50s to it, and then press sine and see if it equals almost 0.6. So 346.9 plus 50, and I'll press sine of the answer. Sure enough, I get 0.6004, and you know, that's close enough. And so that's how we solve these kinds of ones. Now, what about ones which are tougher than this? What about something like this? Ooh, that one's going to be a problem because you haven't done this before. Yeah, okay. I tell you what, I am going to show you how to do these ones here, but I'm going to point out one important fact which we haven't covered yet. Sin x divided by cos x is tan x. It's really easy to see why actually as well, because if you've got a right angled triangle, let's say x is that angle, this is opposite, this is adjacent, this is hypotenuse, sin x is O over h. Yeah, that's right, sin x divided by cos x is O over h divided by A over h. But if you were going to simplify that, you'd times top and bottom by h to realise it's O over a, and opposite divided by adjacent is tan x. Yeah, so sin x divided by cos x is tan x. Now I'm going to need that in this third question, because if I take, for example, let me just make one up, 3 sine 2x minus 2 cos 2x equals 0, and we solve this from 0 to 360. Yeah, I could take the cos 2x to the right, divide by cos 2x, which gives me 3 tan 2x equals 2. I've divided both sides by cos 2x there. And then I can invert the tan 2x. Well, sorry, first make tan 2x equal 2/3. Now invert tan 2x. So inverse tan of 2/3. You get 33.7. Now always use your rule of thumb now, and rule of thumb for tan is 180 plus first answer. So 180 plus that is 213.7, yeah? And then just keep adding 180 with tan, it's really easy like that. So that's going to give you 393.7, and then add another 180 again, 493,593,573.7. And then divide all by 2. I knew, because x is trapped between 0 and 360, The 2x one will probably give you 4 solutions because 2x is trapped between 0 and 720. And so all we've got to do now is just divide by 2, divisible by 2. So 33.7 divided by 2 is going to give me 16.9 or 85. 213.7 divided by 2 is going to give me 106.9. And actually these are all going to have gaps of 90, aren't they? So the next one will have 196.9 and then 286.9. Let's say we don't trust the last one, we want to check it. I'm going to plug it back into the original and see if it equals 0. So I'm going to press 286.9 on my calculator and press equals. That's now the answer. Then I can press 3 sine of 2 times answer minus 2 cos of 2 times answer, and it equals 0.00069, and so it's very, very, very close to 0, so it looks right. And that is solving more advanced trig equations. Have a really good go at this sheet. You might not want to get too stressed out about question 3. Just try the first, like 3A and 3C, and that should be fine. But yeah, have a go at some of the other ones afterwards, all the way up to 7. There's some really good questions there. But yeah, best of luck to you, and I hope it goes well. And any questions you've got, save them for me for the next lesson. Note that I've given you a link to the mark scheme. This isn't the right one actually, but I will be giving you a link to exercise 10E's mark scheme. In fact, it's let me show you where it is. Basically, I'm going to leave you this link here, but look, this is the mark scheme. Fully worked solutions as well actually, so you can see exactly how they do everything. Hope this is useful. So all the best, and yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.